That's an event, you know. One of these days I'll hear it on the tape, like, wow, someone actually did that. Don't, please, because they're going to show up again. And but I think it's interesting that the real question is, how do you know God is real? How do you know that these scriptures are validated? And so when it comes to that, I think it's important to really come to see, because in these words, they do what? It says that God is the creator. And then along with him being a creator, it says this, that he establishes a standard for his creation. So if God is a creator and he's established a standard for his creation, which is us, how do you know the standard is actually from God? Do you think maybe a man could have just, I think this is of God. I think this is of God. It's amazing on how many times through marital counseling a husband has determined a standard of God that isn't. Wife, this is a standard of God. Like, well, you're missing it. You have to listen to what God says for you to do it. And she has to listen to what God says for her to do it. See, this book is not a book for me to control you. What this book is this, it's a love letter of God to me. And he wants me to see my heart. He wants me to see his plan. And he wants me to submit to that plan and to submit to his lordship in everything that I do. Now, when I do that, then I have to do what? I have to recognize these words are real. I have to recognize these words are true. Because if it's a lie telling me, hey, Lowell, what you're thinking is wrong, it's like, no, it's not. Until what? Until I believe it's true. And then when God says, Lowell, that attitude is wrong, then what do? Rather than argue with God and say, no, it's not, I humble myself. And I say, you're right, Lord. You're right. I'm an error. Forgive me. I want to turn from that attitude, and I want to turn to what you say I should do. Do you understand how validating these words are true is going to change everything in your life? But the thing is how do you know these words are true? How do you really understand that what we learn and what we dig into and what we understand are there? Because when we understand that God has a standard for his creation, then these words make this drastic proclamation. We've all failed that standard. Do you understand that the God in this book says you're not good enough? And well, aren't some of us good enough? Well, some of us may be better than others, but there are none righteous, no, not one.